everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Lindsay and I'm bringing content on clean beauty and skincare. If you're not already subscribed, I would love to have you. Today's video, we're going to be doing a really simple, fresh, quick and easy everyday makeup. If you need to get out of the door, you just want to look a little bit more put together, then this is the perfect look. So if you want to see how I ended up getting this little look right here, then keep watching. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I do already have all of my skincare on and my SPF on. It's really important that you do that before your makeup and let it set in so it doesn't pill or interact weird with any of the makeup you put on top of it. So usually I like to wake up, put on my skincare, and then wait a little bit before I go in with makeup. First off, I'm gonna go in with a primer. This is the 100% Pure Mattifying Primer. A lot of these products you guys have already seen me use before, just because when you're trying to do a really quick makeup routine, you want to stick to products that you know look good and are going to work. If you're in a rush, it is definitely not the time to be experimenting with different products or combining different things. So I just like to put that primer in my T-zone. I love that primer so much because it feels just like a silicone primer, and I feel like it gives the same smoothing effects, but it does not have any silicone in it. If you guys need a silicone-free primer, definitely check that one out from 100% Pure. So as you can tell, that kind of just gave me a nice smooth base to work off of. And now we're going to go in with our foundation. So you guys probably already guessed it, I'm going to use the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation. I use this all the time. Definitely my favorite foundation at the moment. This does have silicone in it, so if you guys like to avoid a silicone, definitely avoid this foundation. But I find this doesn't break me out. My skin's weird with silicones. It really depends on the type of silicone and the amount and sort of the quality of it. I haven't had any problems with the Ilia foundation so far. So I just do about a pump of this. I have the shade SF2, by the way. And I'm also going to mix in a pump of the Drunk Elephant d-bronzi. This is just like a little bit of a bronzing, I don't know, what do you call it? A gel, a cream. It's just like a bronzer, and when you mix it in with foundation, if your foundation's a little bit too light, you can add it in to sort of deepen up the shade. Also, it protects against pollution. You can mix it in with just like your cream if you're doing no makeup, and it makes like the perfect little tinted moisturizer that's not a tinted moisturizer, if that makes any sense. I'm just gonna blend this in with a brush. A sponge. This is not a brush. I love the Ilia True Skin Serum Foundation if I'm in a rush, just because it's super quick to blend out. It's not really fussy, it's easy to work with. You can kind of just throw it on and it gives you nice coverage, it's long lasting, and it looks like skin too, which I feel like is really important when you're doing some minimal makeup, is like make sure your skin doesn't look too cakey, especially if you're doing minimal eye makeup, because it's going to be pretty skin focused. So if you're going to spend some time on your makeup, I would definitely focus on your base, because the eyes are really quick. You could kind of just do bronzer and some mascara and be on your way. Also, I've been like obsessed with my skincare routine lately. I feel like I finally found products that are just I'm so in love with. So if you guys are curious about what like my updated skincare routine is, usually it changes frequently, but there are a couple products that I keep that I know my skin just loves. So if you're interested in like seeing that, definitely let me know if you want like a nighttime and a daytime routine, because I've been trying some new products and let me tell you, they're so good. So good. So I really take my time to push this into my skin. Just make sure it's seamlessly blended so there's no visible streaks or just weird pigment patches or anything like that. And bam, I love that foundation. Literally just leaves me with the perfect finish. It's not too oily. It literally feels like nothing on your skin, which is, it literally feels like nothing on your skin, which is just my favorite thing about it. Now that our foundation is blended in and ready to go, I'm going to go in with the Ilia True Skin Serum Concealer. I have the shade SC1. Again, I'm using these because I know they work well together and I know that they work on my skin. Like I said before, use products that you know are going to work, because that's the worst when you're like trying to get ready real quick and you use like a product that ends up looking really bad, and you're just like even more rushed and you're like, oh my god, what do I do? And you like end up having to wash your face or trying to do some weird stuff to cover it up. Again, just blending this in with a Real Techniques sponge. I'm gonna do a little bit of spot concealing with this as well, just on some areas I want a little bit of extra something. So now that we're done with that, I'm going to use two different powders to set my face. If you're in a rush, just use the same one. But I'm going to use the Well People Brow Brightener Invisible Powder for under my eyes, and then I'm going to go in with the, let me grab it here, I use this in my full face of Pacifica video, the Pacifica Mineral Neutralizing Mattifier on the rest of my face. This has a little bit of a tint to it, and it's super mattifying, so it's great for long-lasting makeup, and it's just great in a hurry. So let me go ahead, grab my powder, and put a little bit under my eyes. So since I am filming this as a video, it's going to take longer than as if you were to like do it on your own at home. So you could really be super quick with this if you had to. You could just take a huge powder brush and just powder your whole face. But since I'm walking you guys through the steps, I want to show you like if I had some time extra, like how I would go about putting on the products if I had the ideal amount of time. So now I'm just taking that Pacifica powder for the rest of my face. Next up, we're gonna do some bronzer. For me, bronzer is like an essential product to me. Like if I just had a good base and some bronzer and like a little bit of brows on, I feel like I would be fine. Like I could wear that makeup all day. But like if I didn't have bronzer, I don't know what I would do. I feel like it just brings such life to the face. One of my favorite makeup products. So this is the Han Cosmetics. This is actually their Ibiza shade. So you guys know I love Malibu, which is more of like a matte chocolate brown, and I wanted to pick up this shade because it has a little bit of a shimmer to it. This and Malibu, they're very similar shades, but this one just has a little bit of shimmer, and Malibu is matte. If you want to know the difference, let me actually swatch Malibu for you really quick. So this one on the top here is Malibu, which is a little bit more neutral toned, also works great as a contour, and it has no shimmer. And then this is Ibiza, which is a little bit warmer and has a bit of shimmer to it. So I'm going to grab this on an angled brush and bronze myself up. I do actually find that this shade Ibiza is a little bit more pigmented than the Malibu shade as well. So this one, like, I can use a ton of and it blends out, but I feel like if I use too much of this, it can look a little crazy. So just keep that in mind if you did want to pick up another shade. They have another shade which is more of like guessing a deeper shade of Malibu. It's matte, but it has more of a red undertone to it. I didn't pick that up just because I know red bronzers don't really look good on my skin because I'm just so fair. But if you do have like a medium skin tone, that would probably work well for you. Next, onto blush. Another one of my favorite products if I'm doing quick makeup, really just brings you to life, especially this cream blush. This is the Juice Beauty Last Looks Cream Blush in Flush. Just gives your cheeks a really nice sort of like sheen to them without being oily. I love these so much because they literally give you just like the nicest sheen on your cheeks, but it's not oily and it goes so well over powder. So if you're in a rush, what I do is just I warm it up a little bit on my finger, and then I take a sponge just to sort of break through that top layer and warm it up a little bit. Take my sponge and I sort of hold it like this so it's a bit rounder, and then I take it just on that sponge and apply it. You could of course use a separate sponge for your cream blush, but like I said, this is like if you're really trying to do your makeup quickly, you can just dab that on and it just looks like so glowy and really just makes your face look a little bit more dimensional. Okay, our face is almost done. Last step is going to be highlight. I'm using the Honest Beauty Midnight Reflection Luminizing Powder. I really like this because you can go really heavy with this and it never looks too, I don't know, pigmented. It's just one of those highlights that it's not like a really strong metallic highlight. It's just super soft. You can honestly just sweep this all over your face and it doesn't look too chunky or glittery. It's just super beautiful. So I'm going to take this, let me find a highlight brush on just a little highlight brush here and just hit the tops of my cheekbones, a little bit down my nose, Cupid's bow. You can do your chin too. Again, like I said, this is just such a soft powder. You can really just go over anywhere on your face and it's gonna look beautiful and glowy. They do have a couple shades of these as well. Our base is complete. Before we move on to the brows and eyes, I'm just gonna really quickly mist my face with a bit of setting spray. This is the Pixie Glow Mist. I also really like the Lily Lolo Mist. Okay, just a little bit of that. Don't try to talk when you're doing that. Learn from my mistakes. Next up is brows. Again, this is an area of the face that you can spend really as much or as little time as you want. If you don't really need anything in your brows, you could literally just do a brow gel and be on your way. Or if you want to fill them in, you can really just do a brow pencil, a tinted brow gel, a lot of different brow options. Today I'm just going to be using the Eco Brow in the shade Sharon. This is a brow pomade which can take a little bit longer to use, but for me, since I've been using brow pomades like since I started makeup, I really like them and I think they're easy to use for me personally, so I just take a little bit of it on a angled brow brush here. I'm not going to try to be too precise because that's when your brows can take such a long time. Really just filling in a general shape of what I want my brows to look like. Okay, so as you can tell, that really kind of just gave me a little bit of shape. It's not perfect. I still have some sparse areas, but it just gave them an overall tone that's just going to make them look a little bit more put together. So to finish them off, I'm just going in with a brow gel. This is the Eco Brow Clear Brow Gel. I really like the brush on this. It has a nice long bristle, so you can like get that bushy brow look. So if you have minimal product in your brows, I find like brushing them up makes them look really good, just to make them look a little bit fuller without having to fill them in that much. Bam, brows are done. We're moving on. My favorite thing to put on as eyeshadow when I'm in a rush is bronzer. Even when I'm not in a rush, I love using bronzer as a crease shade. It makes your look really cohesive. It's easy to use. They're also a little bit more forgiving as an eyeshadow compared to an eyeshadow, so you can blend it out a little bit better. So I'm just using the Ibiza bronzer from Han Cosmetics and just taking a fluffy brush and just like windshield wiping. I'm just blending it into my crease. Like bam. Is that not the easiest thing ever? A step that I like to do, but is totally optional, is I like to take a lighter matte shade. I'm gonna use this one from this Honest Beauty palette on my lid and my brow bone. You could also use the highlight you were using. I personally just, I don't know what it is, but I love just having matte on my eyes when I'm doing a really simple look. Again, you could use just like a highlighter on your brow bone and do matte on your lid. Really just do whatever you think looks good on your face. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab a brush for this and put it on my lid, brow bone, and we'll do the inner corners as well. I actually do like to do a bit of shimmer on the inner corners, so maybe we'll take that Honest Beauty highlight for that area. Okay, so that's about it for our eyes. You can end it here and just put some mascara on and you'll be ready to go. I'm going to do a little bit of a shadow liner just on my top lash line. Again, it's optional. If you have a little bit more time and you want to wear eyeliner, of course, wear eyeliner. I don't know what I'm saying. Okay, let's move on. So what I'm going to do is just take the matte black from the same Honest Beauty eye palette I've been using and take it on an angled brush and really just lightly, really push it into like my upper lash line just to give it a little bit of a thicker appearance. Okay, so that's it for our eyes. I finished it off with the Honest Beauty mascara. Really like this mascara, pretty affordable too. And then for lips, I love a really nice tinted lip conditioner if you're in a rush. This one is from Ilia. I have the shade Oh Baby here, which is my favorite for everyday because it's a pretty like pink nude, but it just adds a little bit of like life and plumpness. Just add a little bit of life and a plumpness to the lips. You can also just use a gloss. I love the Kir Weiss. What are these called? I don't know. It's just their lip gloss. This one's the shade Treasure. Obsessed with this. Definitely gonna buy the full size. Or you can do both, which is what I'm going to do today. You could also do a lip liner if you're feeling that. I'm just going to put on the lip conditioner and then do a little bit of the gloss on the center of the lips. Okay guys, here is our finished look. We didn't put on a lot of makeup, but we got pretty good effect from it. It's nice and fresh and easy to do, quick to do as well. So let me go ahead, I'll fix my hair and we'll be back for the outro. Okay guys, that was it for today's video. Excuse me. Okay guys, that was it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not already subscribed, I would love to have you. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it at any point. So thank you again for watching and I will see you in my next video.